Devaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sati Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 18, Text 11. And on this most auspicious occasion of appearance of Lord Varahadev, we are hearing the pastimes of Lord Varahadev. And also the Garbhodaka ocean is spiritual. It's inside the universe, but the Garbhodaka ocean on which the Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying, that's also spiritual. And earlier when Hiranyaksha was looking for Varunadev, when he was diving and he went to Varunadev, that was not the Garbhodaka ocean. So I just wanted to clarify this few points. Now they are at this Garbhodaka ocean where Lord Varahadev is, and the earth was inside the Garbhodaka ocean and now it's floating.
So just to clear that Garbhodaksha is the one where the Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying down and from his navel is coming out Brahmaji, right?
That's right.
And that's in the material world.
That's in the material world, but this Garbhodaka ocean is spiritual.
Okay. Okay.
Because I just clarified these things with Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you. So we are reading from text 11. Ete vayam nyasa hara rasaukas sham gatahriyo gadaya dravitaste tishtha mahe tathapi kathanchit ajo steyam kwa yamo balinot padya vairam. Certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatal and have lost all shame. Although bitten by a powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. The demon should have known that God cannot be driven out of any place, for he is all-pervading. Demons think, this is purport by Srila Prabhupada, demons think of their possessions as their property, but actually everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can take anything at any time he likes. So this is Varahadev speaking, right? Yesterday we heard that. Wasn't it that Varahadev had started speaking? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Varahadev had started speaking. So Lord Varahadev is continuing to speak. And he's saying because Hiranyaksha was calling him amphibious beast. So he's saying, yeah, I will stay here in the water. Now I have no place to go. So he's also sarcastically saying that. He's just playing around with Hiranyaksha. Now this is a very important thing, what Prabhupada is writing. What is demoniac mentality? We think that we can drive God out of anything, that he does not exist. But he's actually in each and every atom of the universe, inside each and every atom of whatever we are seeing. So that's how he's all pervading. So how can we, drive him out? We always thinking everything that I have belongs to me, but it belongs to the Supreme Lord, who can take anything at any time he likes. But we are not able to understand that. The illusory potency of Maya Devi is so strong that she covers this from us. Any comments? Because we say, oh, we came empty-handed, we'll go empty-handed. But when we're actually dealing with things, we are like, okay, everything belongs to me,
Yeah, like always you say that you can't even move a hand, a finger with our own choice. So then what is in our control? Or he's everywhere, like even you, like as you always say that he's in each and every atom, like even in the chair or wherever he is there.
Yeah, in his Paramatma.
Flowers, yes, in the flowers and every, like even in a dog, like as you mentioned that was beautiful, that the defense that comes in a dog proves that yes, Paramatma is there. So yes, he's all pervading.
So, reading on text 12, Tvam padrathanam kila yutapadipo kata swano swastaya asham anuhaha samsthapya chasman brahmachashru swakanam yasvam pratigyam nati piparti asabhyaha. You are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word. A demon may be a great soldier and commander of a large number of infantry, but in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's powerless and destined to die. The Lord therefore challenged the demon not to go away, but to fulfill his promised word to kill him. So Varahadev also is inciting Hiranyaksha to, he's also getting Hiranyaksha more angry so that the fight is going to be really good. When there's more anger, the fight is more, with so much more energy. So here, Varahadev is trying to entice that.
And as it is said, right, that Krishna was in that mood to the desire to fight.
Yeah. So he wanted a good fight, not that, just a little bit, then you don't feel so good. But then when there is so much energy and anger on both sides, the fight is going to be really very enthusiastic for Krishna, for both of them.
Imagine now how so beautifully, today's Varaha Dev's appearance day, and we are reading on for him.
Yeah, that's right. Good fortune,
Yeah.
Our good fortune. So then Maitri Avacha, so adhik Shipto Bhagavata Pralabdascha Rushabrasham Aja Harol Banam Krodham Kriyatyamano Khirat Iva Sri Maitreya said, the demon, being thus challenged by the personality of Godhead, became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. A cobra is very fierce before ordinary persons, but before an enchanter who can play with him, he is a plaything. Similarly, a demon may be very powerful in his own domain, but before the Lord, he is insignificant. The demon Ravan was a fierce figure before the demigods, but when he was before Lord Ramachandra, he trembled and prayed to his deity, Lord Shiva, but to no avail. So we get afraid of these big demons, like, if really Hiranyaksha had to come in front of us, such a big, tall body, we would get afraid. But in front of the Lord, these demons are insignificant. And a nice analogy is given of a cobra and a snake charmer. Snake charmer can charm the snake. Srijan amrshitaha shwasan manyu prachalitendriyaha asadya tarasa daityo gadaya nyahanadharim. Hissing indignantly, all his senses shaken by wrath, the demon quickly sprang upon the Lord and dealt him a blow with his powerful mace. So he's hit the body of the Lord with his mace. Bhagvamstu gadavegam vishritam ripunorasi avanchayatiras chino yoga ruda ivantakam. The Lord, however, by moving slightly aside, dodged the violent mace blow aimed at his breast by the enemy, just as an accomplished yogi would elude death. So Hiranyaksha tried to hit the body of the Lord with the mace, but the Lord moved. The example is given herein that the perfect yogi can overcome a death blow, although it is offered by the laws of nature. It is useless for a demon to beat the transcendental body of the Lord with a powerful mace, for no one can surpass his prowess. Those who are advanced transcendentalists are freed from the laws of nature, and even a death blow cannot act upon them. Superficially, it may be seen that a yogi is attacked by a death blow, but by the grace of the Lord, he can overcome many such attacks for the service of the Lord. As the Lord exists by his own independent prowess, by the grace of the Lord, the devotee also exists for his service. So a nice analogy is given as the Lord dodged. The mace was going to come, but the Lord dodged. And the analogy is given as a yogi. Yogi also dodges the death blow. Like he would have died, but he doesn't. And he continues with his service as if nothing happened. Anyone remembers any example in that connection? Where a devotee, would have been killed, but he thinks, oh, nothing happened, and he just continues doing his service. What comes to my mind is Haridas Thakur, when he was being beaten in the 22 marketplaces, and also Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was trying to be killed so many times by his father, Hiranyakashipu. And also Srila Prabhupada on Jaladuta, he had 2 or 3 massive heart attacks, but he survived by the grace of Krishna without any medical help. So reading on, 16, Punargadam Swam Adaya Brahmayantam Abhikshnashaha Abhyad Vada Dari Krudaha Samrambhat Dashta Dachadam. The personality of Godhead now exhibited his anger and rushed to meet the demon, who bit his lip in rage, took up his mace again, and began to repeatedly brandish it above. So now even the Lord is angry, and now the Hiranyaksha is also angry. Both of them are angry. And Hiranyaksha, he's moving his mace in the air now, showing him, I'm gonna hit you with it.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is it said yogi then? It could be devotee, no? Why yogi is
Bhakti
mentioned?
yogi. It's why here, let's read. What was the
Should be a devotee, no?
Yeah.
Why yogi?
Why does a yogi can?
Yeah, it should be devotee, no?
Yeah, so advanced transcendentalists are
So
free.
that's why, like, I got a bit this thing like yogi. Why yogi?
But actually, a bhakti yogi, a devotee is called also bhakti yogi, right? We are doing bhakti yoga.
Bhakti yogi.
Yeah.
Achha.
A devotee, because what's the highest yoga? When we read in the Bhagavad Gita, the yoga ladder,
Bhakti.
the highest
Bhakti.
yoga is bhakti yoga.
Yeah.
So in that sense, we can say that.
Okay, because I was like trying to relate to like Gyanis and yogi,
Ashtanga.
and that. So I was like a bit confused. Why yogi?
But because then the word here is written advanced transcendentalist.
Okay.
Advanced transcendence. So I should have pointed this out. So there are, as we read yesterday in Sri Upanishad, there are 3 types of transcendentalists.
Yeah.
Right?
So well you explained. My gosh. Nice, really.
For Sri Upanishad is like that.
Oh, that's what like
amazing. And Prabhupada's purports are amazing.
Like in this one, the previous one, even Kunti Devi could be counted in that, right?
Kunti Devi?
Yeah, because they were facing all the troubles again and again and again and again and again in life.
Yeah.
The Pandavas and the Kunti Devi, but they just relied on Krishna's mercy, nothing at all.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Very nice. Yes.
They could be here.
Yes. Devotee is not affected at all. They just continue remembering and chanting the glories of Krishna. Yes, very nice. So reading on, Tatascha Gadya Ratim Gadaya Ratim Dakshina Shayam Bruvi Prabhu Ajagne Satutam Somya Gadaya Kovida Ahana. Then, with his mace, the Lord struck the enemy on the right of his brow. But since the demon was expert in fighting, O gentle Vidur, he protected himself by a maneuver of his own mace. So now so much detail is given how, the Lord is picking up his mace and he's trying to hit Hiranyaksha, but Hiranyaksha is saving with his own mace. Evam gadabhyam gur vibhyam haryaksho harir evacha jigishaya susham rabhav anyonyam abhijag natuhu. Sorry. In this way, the demon Haryaksha and the Lord, the personality of Godhead, struck each other with their huge maces, each enraged and seeking his own victory. Haryaksha is another name for Hiranyaksha, the demon. So they both are really angry. They both spoke to each other in such ways to incite each other's anger, and they both are giving a good fight to each other. Tayos pridos stigma gada hattan gayoho shatashrava grahana vivrita man yavoho vichitra margam charator chikishaya vyabhad ilayam iva shushminor midaha. There was keen rivalry between the two combatants. Both had sustained injuries on their bodies from the blows of each other's pointed maces, and each grew more and more enraged at the smell of blood on his person. In their eagerness to win, they performed maneuvers of various kinds, and the contest looked like an encounter between 2 forceful bulls for the sake of a cow. So they're really getting angry with each other. They're both bleeding, and the more they're bleeding, the more angry they are getting. Here, the planet Earth is called Ila. This Earth was formerly known as Ilavrata Varsha, and when Maharaj Parikshit ruled the Earth, it was called Bharatvarsh. Actually, Bharatvarsh is the name for the entire planet. But gradually, Bharatvarsh has come to mean India, as India has recently been divided into Pakistan and Hindustan. Similarly, the earth was formerly called Ilavratvarsh, but gradually, as time passed, it was divided by national boundaries. So the whole earth is being called Ilavratvarsh, and Bharatvarsh, the whole planet used to be called Bharatvarsh because of after the king named Bharat, the Bharat Maharaj, who, Rishabdev's son, that Bharat Maharaj, because he was such a great king. The whole planet was called as Bharat. Detyasya yavasya maya grihita varaha tanor mahatmanaha kauravya mahayam dvishtor vimardanam didrikshur agat rishibir ritaha swarat. O descendant of Kuru, Brahma, the most independent demigod of the universe, accompanied by his followers, came to see the terrible fight for the sake of the world between the demon and the personality of Godhead, who appeared in the form of a boar. So again here, Maitreya Muni is again reiterating the fact that it's the Supreme Lord, Lord Varahadev. Although the form is in the form of a boar, he is the Supreme Lord nonetheless. He's not an ordinary boar. No ordinary, all the demigods are not going to come to fight, come to see the fighting between an ordinary boar and a demon. Yeah. The fight between the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the demon is compared to a fight between bulls for the sake of a cow. The earth planet is also called Go or cow, as bulls fight between themselves to ascertain who will have union with a cow. There's always a constant fight between the demons and the Supreme Lord or his representative for supremacy over the earth. Here the Lord is significantly described as Yagyavaya. Yagyavayava. One should not consider the Lord to have the body of an ordinary boar. He can assume any form, and he possesses all such forms eternally. It is from him that all other forms have emanated. This boar form is not to be considered the form of an ordinary hog. His body is actually full of yagya, or worshipful offerings. Yagya, sacrifices, are offered to Vishnu. Yagya means the body of Vishnu. His body is not material. Therefore, he should not be taken as an ordinary boar. So some people, they say, oh, Varahadev, but it's ordinary, it's a material form body of a boar. No, this is transcendental. Satchid Ananda. He's just taking this form of a boar, but Krishna is always transcendental. And all the expansions of Krishna are coming from original Krishna, all of them. So they are all transcendental. They all have, they are all Vishnu Tattva. And that's why they are called that yagya, that the body is called full of yagya. All the offerings are meant for Lord Vishnu. All this yagya, fire sacrifices, why is it done? All sacrifices are meant for the pleasure of Vishnu. And here a nice analogy is given that the demons and the devotees or the Supreme Lord are always fighting for the supremacy over the earth. Constant fight. There's constant fight between the demons and the Supreme Lord or his representative for supremacy of the earth. So because the Lord always wants the earth to be ruled by devotees, by saintly kings. And what comes to my mind, does anything come to anyone's mind in regard to this? The fight for the supremacy of the earth. Any other fight?
The churning of
The churning of the ocean. That was for to get the nectar.
Nectar,
Yeah, that was not literally to get the supremacy of the earth, over the earth. What comes to my mind is the Kurukshetra War, because that time the earth was being ruled by Duryodhan and his allies, but Krishna wanted to reinstate Yudhishthir Maharaj, who's a devotee, so that the whole earth could become peaceful and everyone would be properly taken care of, not only materially, but also they would understand the spiritual duty. So that's the reason Krishna wanted the Kurukshetra war, so that Yudhishthir Maharaj could become the king, become the emperor of the earth. So because at that time also, as we heard even Maharaj Parikshit's time, they were ruling the full earth, not only India. The full earth was under their protection. Brahma is described in this verse as Swarat. Actually, full independence is exclusive to the Lord himself. But as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, every living entity has a minute quantity of independence. Each and every one of the living entities within this universe has this minute independence, but Brahma, being the chief of all living entities, has a greater potential of independence than any other. So we have this minute independence. We have it. Why do we have it? Because Krishna has independence. Krishna is Swarat. He's absolutely independent. No one can force Krishna to do anything. He's not, no, we can't force him. He's totally free to do anything, totally independent. We are dependent, but we have minute independence, minute. And what's our independence? What's our minute independence that we have?
Our minute independence is that we can cook this or cook that, or what path we can choose, the right or the wrong. Do we want to go to Krishna, or do we want to fall in the trap of Maya?
That's right. Our minute independence is only that we choose Krishna or we want to forget Krishna. That is there. That's our minute independence. That's our free will. That's our free will. Do we choose Krishna, or do we choose to remember Krishna, or do we choose to forget Krishna? So then he is the representative of Krishna. Now we are speaking of Brahmaji. Brahmaji has a greater independence because he is the he's the secondary creator of the universe. So he has a lot of responsibility. He is the representative of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and has been assigned to preside over universal affairs. All other demigods work for him. Therefore, he's described here as Swarat. So all the demigods, Indra, Chandra, there's so many, 33 crore demigods, right? Lord Shiva, and anyway, there are so many of them. They all work for Brahmaji. They're all under the control of Brahmaji because Krishna has given Lord Brahma the service that you take care of the universe, all the universal affairs, the administration of the universe. So he is always accompanied by great sages and transcendentalists, all of whom came to see the bullfight between the demon and the Lord. So Brahmaji, like we have a president of a country. The president of the country is also surrounded by his aides. He'll be surrounded by his secretary, his bodyguards, whoever, his team basically. So Brahmaji, who's his team? The great sages and transcendentalists. They like to associate with Brahmaji. They are qualified to associate with Brahmaji. And they've all come to see Lord Varahadev and Hiranyaksha. So today is the most auspicious day of appearance day of Lord Varahadev, and we can pray to the lotus feet of Lord Varahadev to give us protection at his feet, to give us devotion to Krishna, give us love for Krishna. Any comments or anything to add? If no, then we'll stop here for today.
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Varahadev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.